Hey, what's up, everybody? Another edition of the Spilled Milk Ask Me Anything. I'm tired. My voice is shot. Uh, Still excited to do this. Seriously, best part of my week. I'm in the airport in San Francisco, as some of you may recognize. Um, and yes, it's true. I had a tooth knocked out. It's a long story. Wasn't a fight. Wasn't an accident. Bit down on the wrong piece of food, went like I mean, just no blood, no pain, just a dentist appointment on Tuesday. All right, let's get to your questions, shall we? Colette writes, Andrew, you responded to Lauren about getting into the world of gastronomy without being a chef. I'm passionate about charcuterie. I had a great mentor that's passed away. I learned many things from him, but my question is, how do you know if your community can support that kind of cottage business? She's in a bedroom community near DC. Trust me, if you're making a quality product, your community can support it. What you should start doing is making it, and you should get it into local butcher shops, local stores. Some of the best farmers markets in America are in Washington D.C. They're spread out all over the town. Get in there. You do that for a year, and you will find yourself in a much different position than you are right now. Um, Here's the deal. It's not always as simple as the Field of Dreams stuff. Just because you make it, they will not come. But if you make it and push it out into the world, and it's a good product, it will sell. It never fails. Barb writes, going to Copenhagen for the food festival. It's my first trip to that part of the world. Restaurants or street foods that you should try. Well, I mean, remember, Copenhagen has 13, 14 Michelin starred restaurants, including several recent best restaurants in the world winners, like Noma, which is closing, Geranium, etc. But it's the four four markets that they have that really excite me. Refn, Torvehallern, Bronsgodekaken, I think is the other one, and of course the Tivoli Food Hall. And you can eat there for 20, 30 bucks, stuff your face on some of the best food in the whole city. Street food there, lots of hot dogs and sausages. They're absolutely wonderful. There are smorgasbord shops, little open-faced sandwich places that are absolutely fantastic. If you're there in spring, a lot of different food festivals bring, there's Crayfish Festival and blah, 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 blah. And you can just sit in an outdoor bar and eat and drink for pennies, relatively. Then, if you want restaurants, I have a great list for you. Surt, S-U-R-T, fantastic, great pizzas, really inexpensive. Jordaner is a kind of hybridized version of the Scandinavian aesthetic along with Japanese food that's out of control. The Bird is great. Jatak is great. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing all these things, but that's Jatak, which I think means yes in Danish. But super, super good. A ton of ethnic food is just non-Scandinavian ethnic food is available in Copenhagen. An absurd amount. There's a great Afghanistan restaurant. There's several locations called Kebabistan, which I went bonkers for. Sanchez Katina, same thing. Let's see. Coffee in the Morning, Prolog, Prolog, great, superb pastries and stuff. If you're looking for like snacks and a loosey-goosey menu, go to Code Bien's Fisk Bar. K-O-D K-O-D-B-Y-E-N-S. Code Bien's Fisk Bar. Let's see, what else do I like? Oh, Slurp for ramen. Ark is a great restaurant that you could probably get into. Selma, same thing. If you're in the mood for Italian, inside Torvahallen Food Hall is Il Mattarello. Really, really, really good. Obviously, Geranium, if you can get a reservation. They just recently won Best Restaurant in the World. Bakery, fun bakery stuff. Juno is a great small bakery that I adore. Anyway, I think that's a lot of good leads for you. But hit those food halls; they're really great. Janet wants easy Memorial Day cookout ideas. Well, sadly, not so sadly, but I guess kind of sadly for you, and I apologize. This is coming out at the end of the holiday weekend, not the beginning. But on all my social, and I assume if you are subscribing here, you're following me on all my social, we put out all of our Memorial Day cooking guides. So please, if you're not following me in social, make sure that you are, because we put up a lot of stuff that's on our website at andrewzimmern.com, and we have all the holiday bundles you could possibly imagine. Kinsey writes, the powdered mushroom trend, and this is a great question, has been gaining popularity recently. Have you explored incorporating powdered mushrooms into your cooking? I've been doing it for 30 years, so have most chefs been putting powdered everything in ever since the 70s when dehydrators came out, inexpensive ones. Chefs have been dehydrating, turning things into powders. Mushrooms have so much naturally occurring glutamates inside them that when you dehydrate them, they get really, really, really strong, right? Think about dried mushrooms that you just inhale the bag or the jar when you open them, and you can't believe how strong they are. In fact, stronger than fresh mushrooms. Kinsey's question is about exploring unique flavors and textures that they might bring to gluten-free dishes. Well, obviously a ton of them. I mean, stir a couple tablespoons into a simple risotto or pasta dish or vegetable stir fry, and you've radically changed the equation on the flavor. But I also love kind of dry rubbing with mushroom powder. So I'll take white flesh fish, halibut especially at this time of year, rub it with mushroom powder, let it sit in the fridge for about an hour, and then season and broil, season and saute. It's crazy, the aroma that it gives. And then pair it with some sauteed spring mushrooms and asparagus, and you sort of double down on that flavor. Debbie writes, what knife are you using in the oyster recipe that I had? One of my many oyster knives. I have one from MKS Knives. I have several I've collected over the years. But I believe the one you're talking about is just a very simple commercial $6 shucker that I got at a seafood shop years ago, and I just love it. Brian writes about my friend George Mack and his philosophy for living, and wanted me to share it. Yeah, super simple. Slow down, enjoy your life. George was a lotus eater. He believed life was meant to be enjoyed, and he did it throughout his entire life. And I knew him for 55 years, and he enjoyed a dog walk more than anyone I've ever known. I mean, that's the kind of guy that he was. But he fell into, before it became popular, he was living the 8-8-8 lifestyle rule. Work for 8 hours, play for 8 hours, do the things you love to do, sleep for 8 hours. And truly one of the greatest men I've ever met in my life. And I was lucky to spend a lot of time with him because he was the father of one of my best friends. And he will be missed by everyone who knew him. Jeff writes, I keep a small collection of hot sauces. And so far, he says he's only found 2 of them that are too hot. Endorphin Rush and Dave's Insanity. Have I ever tried those? Yes, Dave's Insanity is not that hot. Especially nowadays that people are using scorpion chilies and reapers and all these chilies that are just all heat and no flavor. I'm really partial, when it comes to actual hot sauces, I'm really partial to Crybaby Craig's. It's locally made in Minnesota. I just adore it. I love their hot sauce. But I have about 20 in my house because so many have different flavors. Irish Spikes from Idaho, I have 6 or 7 of his. They all, none of them I would describe as hot. They have a lot of chili flavor, but he has a unicorn hot sauce that has blood orange in it that's like citrusy and hot at the same time that I just love. Zapp's hot sauce I love. Obviously, there's some Louisiana hot sauces, Crystal being my favorite, that my everyday go-tos. John writes about the bean soup video. Where did the apron you're wearing come from? That is one of my favorites. It is a Headley and Bennett smock. It's actually not an apron. And it's just dynamite. Super comfy. I wear it cooking, gardening, sometimes just walking around the house with it. Denise wrote about oysters. Yes, they are sexy as fuck. Sorry, AF. Excuse me, there could be children here. And that looks lovely and yummy and everything I love about seafood, but also thinking, if I had my toes in the sand and was staring out at sea, I'd be pretty happy if you served me those to me in a shot glass. Well, thank you. That's very complimentary. I'm going to take the serious side of that question. Oysters, especially oyster shooters, are a great way to serve oysters at home because you can shuck them ahead of time on your own speed, put them in glasses. They don't have to be shot glasses. They can be just little small glasses. And then you can do whatever you want on top of them and toss them back. It's a great way to serve oysters. And there are a handful of people over the course of my life that I have served oysters to in shot glasses with toes in the sand. If you have someone you love, it's a nice thing to do. Trust me, the rest of the day will go swimmingly. Enjoy your week. Sorry for the delay. Love you all. Please get a friend to subscribe to Spilled Milk. We're trying to up our subscriber base, and we need your help. Have a great day.